Hi YouTube, this is DarkOn633, and today we're taking a look at another Star Wars The Force Awakens 3 3/4 inch Black Series review. This time we're going to take a look at Rey based on her outfit on Jakku. Now, this figure is yet again another Walmart exclusive that was released, if I remember correctly, the third wave of the Black Series for the 3 3/4 inch line. And out of all the Reys, this one was yet another really hard to find release. As I mentioned before in other previous reviews of Rey figures, due to the popularity of the character, this particular character, in almost all the versions of the figure, except for the 6-inch, has been impossible to find, and the only reason I was able to get a hold of this Rey is through Walmart.com. Otherwise, it's just been a real hassle to find all these Black Series figures. Now, one thing I have to give Hasbro credit for is that this version of the figure is at least the definitive Jakku version of the release. The only thing that is missing is that she does not include her lightsaber, but that's understandable since this is based on her original design early in the film. Now, what's cool is that, unlike the 6-inch figure, this figure also includes two accessories that are not included in the 6-inch release. Due to the fact that 6-inch included BB-8, it's understandable why the lack of accessories makes a lot of sense for that one, since it actually included technically two characters in the film. So since this version of the release does not include BB-8, Hasbro has decided to add more accurate accessories to go alongside the figure. Before we go to the figure, we'll now look at the box. The box is in your standard red series of the Force Awakens figures in the Black Series. Shows a buy with normal, and that's pretty much it for these boxes. From what I could tell, the small 3 3/4 inch figures do not have any numbers, unlike the 6-inch versions. Anyways, we'll take a look at the figure itself. The figure has a wide range of movement, and I actually think in some cases it's a lot better than the 6-inch, since the 6-inch has a lot more stiffer joints, making it, while it does work a lot better in standing, just the movement of the joints was a bit wonky at times. But for this version, it actually works really well. And I think it's been a while since I've seen the 6-inch version. This figure might have just a little bit more articulation, but not by a whole lot. Articulation-wise, her head is on a ball joint, which is a bit loose, but not the worst I've seen. So it just moves really nicely and freely, which has no problem. She does not have a bobblehead, which is nice. And that's pretty much it for the head articulation. Her shoulders are on ball joints, which can work really well in movement, both outwards and can swivel normally. She does have a little bit more than 90-degree elbow movement, and she also has ball-hinged wrists, which works really nicely. She has a swivel in her waist, ball joints in the hips, so she can actually have a lot more movement outwards, even though her skirt piece does get in the way on the other side. It's a little bit flexible, but it's not the best I've seen. As you can see, while it does bend a little, it kind of snaps the leg back into place a bit, so that is a bit annoying. She has ball joints in the knees. She can also swivel as well on the hips, which I forgot to mention. And she has a little less than 90 degrees in the knees, but it's not the worst. And she has ball jointed ankles, which are very tight, and they work really nicely. From what I could tell, she does not have ankle pivots, but she can at least move her feet normally. Accessories includes her signature staff, which can be removed. It's a bit tricky to remove it, though, since you need to kind of move parts in order to get this out of the way. I apologize. This is a bit tricky. Okay, so we now taken off her staff, and unfortunately it is a bit warped, as you can see there, but it's not the worst I've seen. It's a lot less flexible than the standard 5-point articulation release, so as long as you bend it in the correct way, it should stay okay in position, but as you can see, it just doesn't really work too well for me at the moment. Anyways, she can carry it nicely with no major issues. Except for the fact it is kind of hard to actually put in the hand. But as long as it's actually in the hand, then it actually stays in really well. But it does take some time to actually get it in there, since for some reason Hasbro decided to put her hands in kind of the trigger position, even though she doesn't come with their blaster. So there we have a staff in hand. And with the ball hinged wrists, she can move it in a little bit more relaxed position, which is really nice. We're just going to take the staff off so it won't fall. And the other accessory she includes is this backpack, which can actually be strapped to her back, which actually works really well, actually. What you need to do is unpeg them. They're in the the standard kind of peg system. You just wrap it around her shoulders, like so. And you're just going to snap it into place. It is a bit tricky to figure out what exact area to peg it in, since I'm not really 100% sure how far the strap actually needs to go around her shoulders. But I think the second peg works well enough, so we're just going to peg that together. Once you put it on, it is a bit tricky. I've seen it with a lot of other action figures where the actual pegs actually have a little bit harder time getting in there when the other one is attached, so it should actually be attached in a minute. There we go. So now the backpack is secure on her back. And you can carry it pretty nicely with no issues, so that's nice. The other accessory, you're going to actually have to remove the backpack since it doesn't actually fit on the other accessory she includes, and that's an alternate headpiece, which actually represents basically the other fully closed out part of the outfit. I almost dropped it. Not bad. What I thought originally, you were just supposed to put it over the head, but in reality, you're actually supposed to remove the head, and it actually will take place in the actual area of the ball joint there. So there she is in her outfit. We're just going to quickly put back the staff, and now she's in the outfit that can be seen in one of the other trailers from The Force Awakens and a lot of the other promotional shots and so on. She doesn't stay in this outfit too long in the film, but it's enough to be at least memorable. So as you can see, she does look really nice with the outfit fully on. Now just to compare it, here it is next to the previously reviewed 5 points articulation, well 4 points since this one doesn't actually have a head joint, version of Rey that came with her speeder. As you can see, the detailing is quite different between the two. I kind of prefer this version in some cases, just because it seems a little bit more detailed, but at the same time, this version is a lot better colored. So it's kind of like a 50-50 point there. I've already tried attaching basically her legs to her spear and so on, but due to the high amounts of articulation, for some reason, she has a hard time actually staying on the speeder, so I'm actually not going to be able to show that here. But we will show a little comparison between her standing in front of her speeder, at least. Hopefully she will not fall. Okay. We're just going to take this figure to the side and quickly bring in her speeder so we can have a little comparison between her in front of her speeder. So here's the speeder that I previously reviewed. And she still scales really nicely since it is still a part of the 3 3/4 inch scale, and, well, as I mentioned before, she doesn't really fit on very well. At least she looks nice on display in front of her speeder. And anyways, I do still have the figure that does come with the speeder just to keep her on display on her bike anyways, so it's not the worst. Other than that, I think this is a really nice figure, and Hasbro done an impressive job releasing a articulated Black Series figure of Rey. Hopefully, maybe one day we'll be able to see Rey in her Resistant outfit in this articulated scale, but for now, this is I guess, the best representation of Rey, at least in the 3 3/4-inch Rey we've got to this point. Anyways, please comment, subscribe, and check out Hirotaku. Also, please check down the other channels down below, and I'll be back to bring more Star Wars reviews. But for now, happy seeing you YouTube. Bye.